Hi, hello there. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are working on story 13 for my October daily. This one is gonna have a lot of flip ups. On story 12, I kind of experimented with it a little bit, and on this one, I just went crazy. So you're seeing me here now kind of work through how I'm going to have everything laid out and kind of making sure that my flips are going correctly. So I'm going to jump right into getting everything kind of stuck together. That way I can just stick the final products to the page. Honestly, I struggle a bit with this. Right now I'm wondering, I probably should put my flip piece in before I tape those together. So that's what I'm working on, and it takes me a hot minute to figure out specifically how I need this flip piece to attach. So you're gonna see that for a few moments. Me just trying to figure out how I need it to attach so that everything is flipping the way that I would like it to. So I'm going to have a total of 13 photos on this spread, but only one of them will be immediately visible once you actually flip to this page, if you were to be flipping through my October daily. So I've got 8 underneath this spider photo, and this spider photo is basically going to be the theme for kind of how I themed this spread. I'm going to be using Close to My Heart's Boo to You papers and some stickers as well. And I'm using that spider sticker in the background for my background images. So I'm kind of trimming everything down to match the size of my photos. I printed that initial spider photo a little bit larger than my kind of 8 photos here, so that I could trim some of it off. And then on the other side, I'm going to have 4 photos total under 2 star papers. And then they'll flip up and kind of have like my feet shots. I love shots of like where I'm standing, stuff like that. So as we went on this family walk, which I haven't even mentioned yet, I'm documenting a kind of like family walk that we went on 2 Sundays ago, I believe it was. So October 17th, we went on like a family nature walk, and that's what I'm documenting here. So as we were walking, periodically I took photos of like where we were standing. So I took a picture of all of our feet at the very beginning, and then we had to cross a little bridge on the nature walk, so I took a photo of my feet on it because there was a bunch of dead leaves. And then about halfway through our walk, we finally found some like colored leaves, some leaves that have changed colors, which I'm in Florida, so that doesn't happen very often. So I stopped and took a photo of my feet with those, and then at the very end of our walk, I took a picture of me and my husband's feet together. So quite a lot of where I'm standing photos, honestly, but I really like them, so I wanted to have them included in this kind of spread because, you know, we were walking around and you'll walk with your feet, am I right? So that's what I'm doing, is kind of getting all of my photos organized for their flip ups. Side note, I'm sure that you've noticed there's been a significant amount of shaking on this particular video. I filmed 3 videos in one day last weekend, I believe, and my daughter was home with me, and she must have just been at my desk for the entire time that I was filming this particular video, because that's usually where the shaking happens from her kind of coming up to me very excitedly to show me like whatever toy she's playing with or something that she figured out. So I'm pretty sure that's what's going on here, is you're seeing her kind of knocking my tripod, because it's kind of not very securely mounted, if I'm being completely honest. But yeah, that's where the shaking's coming from, if you notice it. So I'm pulling some stickers from the sticker sheet that comes with these papers, and I'm gonna put those on top of my star papers. And then this October story kind of die cut thing that I'm taping down, I actually downloaded some digital October spooky season items and I printed that out. So then I'm going to move forward and kind of measure out my spider paper. I didn't want this to cover the entire page, so I kind of did it about maybe 1/4 of an inch, probably a little bit more in from each side, and then I'm going to rip 2 of the edges on the spider paper. So I'm doing that now, and I'm going to kind of lay everything out and see how I like it. After I finish ripping the edges, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of like rough them up a little bit as well. And then so I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the second side. I did kind of trim that one down ever so slightly. And then I'm going to pull a test paper that I had been using to test kind of splatters. And I'm gonna decide to add that underneath this half of the spread as well. Ultimately, I really liked adding the splatters underneath, but I didn't feel like there was enough of them. I felt like quite a bit of my photo and the spiderweb page kind of covered them all up, so I'm gonna add some more splatters. I'm using the Distress spray, but instead of spraying it, I'm just gonna take the nozzle out and kind of tap on the nozzle. When I use this spray feature, it kind of just soaks my pages, and I didn't really like that, so using the nozzle and kind of tapping it gives a much more ideal delivery that I wanted. I also used the Close to My Heart Melon shimmer pen as well and kind of splattered that on, and that one has a little bit of like glitter, and you'll see that here when I'm kind of like tilting the camera, so it adds a little bit of shine to the page, and I really liked that. So as that dries, I'm gonna go ahead and start taping things down. I'm super impatient, so I was considering just messing with it right away, but I decided ultimately to set it aside, and I'm just gonna go ahead and start taping the other half of my spread down. And then I'll move forward to taping my splatter page down. As I'm kind of laying things out on my second page, I kind of decide that I should also rip the tops of this second spider page as well, just to kind of add a little bit more character to it and make it a little bit more smaller than my splatters page. I really do like the way that this looks much more than it did when the tops were fully level and the bottom was fully level. So I really like the way that this is looking, so I'm going to go ahead and get my splatters taped down, and then I'm going to also tape my other spider page and then move on to my photo. what I'm going to do for journaling on this particular spread is I'm going to kind of just omit a portion of the back of my main flip up and stick a journaling card behind there. I'm gonna choose a really basic journaling card that just kind of says a story from Allie Edwards, and kind of use that as a guide when I add my tape. I'm just gonna add tape around that particular card. That way it leaves an opening behind my photos. And then I'll add my journaling and be able to pull it in and out of my spread. I also do add off camera a little like piece of fabric, and I staple that to the photo as well to kind of use that as a flip up for my main photo. The smaller photos I didn't really have an issue pulling up and down, but when it came to the big photo, when I'm like testing it later on, it gave me a little bit of trouble, so I wanted to add some type of flip tag to that. So the last thing that I'm doing now is just kind of adding my number. So I'm adding 13 for my story 13, and then that's it. Then I'm done, and then we'll flip through the final photos. Let me know what you think of this spread below if you made it to the end of this video. Thanks so much for joining me today, and have a great rest of your day. Bye!